साहित्यजागर आयोजित दृष्टि फाउंडेशन प्रायोजित दृष्टिजागर.
Namaskar, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Purnima Trivedi Kulkarni from Pune. I am a professor of English literature and I also run an institute called Discourses. My motto is I teach, train and transform. Today's topic is the blind person I know or the blind person I'm familiar with. So the person that I'm going to talk about is Nilima Surve. Here's a little poem for her. This morning when I awakened and saw the sun above, I softly said, "Good morning, God, bless everyone I love." Right away, I thought of her and said a loving prayer that God may bless her specially and keep her free of care. I wished for all the happiness a day could hold in store. I wished it all for her because no one deserves it more. Well, it was the master punster, the master plagiarist William Shakespeare who said, "Some people are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." I really wonder if Nilima is born great, but she definitely achieved greatness in life. She always faced up to the challenges of life. She never cribbed and complained about, being visually impaired. In fact, I've always seen her strengths. I hardly saw any weakness in her. Yes, she is very sensitive, there is no question about it. But I can see that strength in her sensitivity as well. She's very well read, very well informed. She reads copiously, she reads voraciously, she reads voluminously. She has developed an insight into Marathi literature. Okay, Ek Hota Karvar or, Shivaji Savant's Mrityunjay. She has read everything. Her messages are deeply poignant. There's a lot of intensity in her messages, and that's what I like about her. And she always calls a spade a spade. She's extremely straightforward. She doesn't write in a sugar-coated, honey-dipped manner. No, that's not her. Some people abide our questions, but Nilima Surve is not subject to our doubts and questions. She remains as elusive as the highest pinnacle of knowledge, and her grandeur is known only to a few scholars and critics. She is like the loftiest hill, revealing her grandeur to the stars, to the sunbeams, and this majesty of lofty hills, its sublime heights are invisible to us. Invisible to us, even to those who have a pair of eyes. This majesty of lofty hills, its sublime heights are invisible to us, for we can see only the cloudy border of its base and not the sublime heights. So to sound the depth of this girl is a fruitless attempt. It baffles all analysis and all understanding. It was P.B. Shelley, the romantic poet, who said, "We look before and after and pine for what is not. Our sincerest laughter is with some pain fraught, and our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thoughts." Well, this girl called Nilima Surve does not really highlight the seamy side of life. She does not look at hardships. She does not look at the turbulent times. Her messages always end on a note of reconciliation. She's so optimistic, and that's what I personally like about her. There's one thing that I would definitely like to mention here. In Commonwealth era, there lived a poet called John Milton. He was a blind poet, and he wrote a poem called On His Blindness. It's a sonnet. Sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. The first 8 lines are called octave, and the last 6 lines are called sestet. So in the octave, the poet says, "Dear Lord, I have a request. Why did you take away my eyesight? Why did you take away the talent of writing poetry? Why did you deprive me of this talent?" Because poets have to depend a lot on the visual aspect, and God has taken away his eyesight. But in the last 6 lines in the sestet, he finds a solution to his problem. He says, God does not expect anything from me, so I should believe in Nishkam Karma Yog. And what is Nishkam Karma Yog? I work without any expectation from above. I do not look at the result. I only look at my tapasya. I only do my best. I contribute in my own little way. And that's what Nilima is doing. She keeps herself occupied, and her messages, her presence on social media is not frivolous. It is intellectually stimulating. So this is what we can learn from her. Nilima, thanks for being what you are and for what we are because of you. There is so much to learn from you. You're the kind of a person whom familiarity and not distance lends charm. Thanks for being a part of our life. We cross paths with thousands of people in a lifetime, but hardly ever notice a lot of them. But there are a few like her who affect our outlook in an important way. And I'm glad our paths crossed the way they did. Thank you very much.